Thank you for joining on the next episode of, well, I don't have a name yet, but so far you guys know that I'm trying to figure out how to sleep at night because I have all these entrepreneurial ideas that I need to get out of my head. So far, we've got 4 episodes. I've spent 24 hours and 44 minutes on it, mostly at 5 in the morning or really late at night. 4 episodes, 24 hours, and we have 6 subscribers. So that's pretty exciting. But anyway, we're going to keep going. I've got some great interviews with Charlton Cunningham, aka Atlanta's C Money. If you can't tell, I will definitely use everyone's great nicknames. Please forgive me, as Charlton is outside and apparently the birds wanted to be part of this interview. They are very loud, but I couldn't redo the interview, so I wanted to reach out with him and just see what his response was to my 3 a.m. rant, which if you missed, it's the first video in the episode series. So the first question is, did you watch my 3 a.m. rant?
Of course. I did. I rewatched it too.
You watched it twice?
It was brutal. Actually, I fast forwarded the second time. This light on his eyes is going to kill him, along with the ideas in his head.
So I'd love to hear your first reaction.
So first reaction was, I've definitely kind of felt like that before. I haven't woken up in the middle of the night with, the burning on my brain, but I've definitely felt in a position where I have an idea and it's a very strong idea and I figure out what to do with it, or just to, like you said, stop thinking about it because it's just going to eat you up inside if you don't. If you don't do it and find out, it might fail, or do it and then succeed. But either way, you got to do it. So definitely been in that situation.
Yeah, and I love that you have to do it. Even if it fails, that's okay. It's just, how do I get this crap out of my head? So how have you lived that out?
Well, really early on, I would say in my early 20s, I got some good advice from a friend of mine. And he just said, just start doing stuff. He said, it doesn't matter if you've done it through a business or, if it was anything official, quote unquote, but what have you done? And so for the ideas that I've pursued, I would just let me just try it out. Let me just do it. And that way I can have it, in my history. I've done this. I've learned from it. And so that's has always been my approach. Hey, if I have an idea, let me pursue it to the degree where I can say, I feel good about, hey, I don't want to pursue this anymore, or I feel good about it didn't work, or it did work, and let me bring some people on and let's keep doing it. And so
I think a lot of people have a lot of ideas, and they're definitely at the point where they just want to do something. But for you, you actually tried quite a few things, and some of them were successful. What was the first step when you just said, you know what, today I will try this?
I think the first step is kind of saying you want to do it. So if that's writing it down for some people, or just saying it out loud, I want to do this, or something that I like to do is tweet something so that there's a record of it. And then just tell somebody about it. Tell somebody who will ask you again about it. And so if you have an idea and you're like, oh, I really like this idea, talk to somebody you feel comfortable with. 2 weeks later, if you talk to the right person, they're going to ask you, hey, where are you at with that idea? So get some accountability with that. Then I would say get some partners. Get some people that there are things that you can do by yourself and some things you can't do. So figure out those things and then try to get some people along the journey to help you out.
What did you look for when, how did you find those people? Where were they at? And what did you look for when you were recruiting people for your ideas?
So I would look for people who are already successful. They know what it takes to make something happen. And so they can definitely hold you accountable, and they know that you shouldn't be watching Netflix if you really want to get this idea. People you admire in your circle. There are a ton of my friends who are very skilled in things that I'm not skilled in. And so I admire that about them, and I respect that they know something that I don't know. And so people who are successful and people who I admire are those kind of people I look for. And I find those in my friend circles, find that just through networking events. A lot of times it'll just come from a recommendation from a person. So going to somebody that that might be, a person like yourself, and saying, hey, who should I connect to? I have this great idea. And, just getting some recommendations from people. I think is always good.